Am I the asshole for not asking my father to let my mother use his apartment? My 14-year-old female parents divorced when I was 11. When they divorced, my mother moved in with her sister in another state. Before they divorced, my father enrolled me in a boarding school for middle school instead of a regular school. It is one of the best schools in the state, and I have autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and they have a lot of support for students with autism or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Like 30% of students have some type of learning disability. I love it here. They have a lot of activities after class, and 6th grade was the first time since 2nd grade that I did not fail, even though I knew the material. I also have friends here, even though I had a hard time making friends at home, and I have therapy and group sessions here. When my parents divorced, my mother asked me to tell my father and his lawyer that I do not want to go to boarding school anymore and that I want to live with her because she signed a prenuptial agreement, so she does not get the house or money, and the only way she can get money is if I live with her. I told her I did not want to live with her because I really wanted to go to this school, and she moved without me, and she does not visit or call, and she does not answer when my father asks about me visiting. My father got an apartment near my school so he can visit on weekends. If he cannot visit, my old nanny comes up to see me. My mother called me and said she cannot live with her sister anymore, so she wants me to ask my father if she can use the apartment, and I can stay with her and only be enrolled for the day school. I said no, I like living here, so she said I can still live here, but I can see her on the weekends. I told her my father uses the apartment to see me on the weekends, and I do not want to stop seeing him. Now she is mad at me, and she's back to not talking to me. Am I the asshole for not asking my father to let her use the apartment? Reddit verdict: not the asshole. Top comments. Comment: not the asshole. Listen to me and listen well. Your mother's issues are not because of you. At no point should you feel guilty or think her actions are a reflection of you. I am sorry that she's treating you this way, but I am glad that you have one stable parent and a nanny who adores you. I know it hurts and you feel conflicted because she is your mother. Maintain your boundaries and understand that it is okay if you decide not to allow someone to have an active part in your life. Keep shining bright and thriving. Heart emoji. Author: my therapist said it sounds like my mother had me and married my father for money, not because she wanted me or loved him. I stopped trying to talk to her a while ago because she only wants to be my mother when there's something in it for her. Comment: not the asshole. Tell your father what your mother has been asking you to do. He needs to know what is happening. They need to work this out between them. Your school sounds amazing, and so do you. Comment: not the asshole. Please tell your father. Your mother should not be putting this pressure on you. It is not your job to sort out her life. You seem to be thriving in your current environment, and as a mother, that should be her main concern. Author: I do not want to bother him. Answer to author: please, he needs to know. He can take this to court and hopefully she will stop doing this to you. You are a child. You need an adult's help to make your mother stop this. If you cannot tell your father, tell your nanny or a teacher. An adult needs to know. Write down who you think is the asshole and who did the right thing, and we'll move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for taking my laptop back after my boyfriend's sister stole from us? I, a 21-year-old female, have a house with my boyfriend, a 22-year-old male. My boyfriend's sister, a 17-year-old female, feels like she has the right to enter our house at any time just because my boyfriend lives here too. So last night around 11:30, after my boyfriend and I had already fallen asleep, his sister walked into our house, and this woke my boyfriend up. She asked if she could take a beer out of our fridge, and he told her no. She threw a fit, apparently, and slammed our bathroom door. My boyfriend thought she would just leave after throwing her tantrum in the bathroom, so he came back to bed. After a while, we heard our front door slam, and my boyfriend got up to lock it, and we thought that was that. This morning, while putting groceries away, I opened the drawer in the fridge where we keep our alcohol, and it was completely empty. I had bought a 24-pack of Seagrams on Thursday and only had one, so I asked my boyfriend if he moved them somewhere else. He told me no, and that his sister asked for a beer, and he said no and thought she left after. I confronted her about it, and she basically told me that she used our bathroom and her friend must have come into the house and taken them. This could be true, but my boyfriend only heard the door slam once after coming to bed because the door will not close unless you slam it hard. If it was open long enough for the friend to grab the alcohol from the fridge and leave, my cat would have definitely run out of the house. So her story was a lie to try to keep herself out of trouble. After thinking about it, I told her I knew she was lying, and even if she was not, she was letting her friend steal from us and told her she was being selfish and disrespectful. She went on a rant about how I was a bitch and I controlled my boyfriend and was not family to her anymore. When she said that, it made me pissed, on top of how pissed I already was about her thinking she has any right to take stuff from my house because her brother lives here.
I went to her dad's house and talked to him about it, and told him that I was sorry, but they were going to have to figure out another way for her to do her schoolwork because I was taking my computer back since I was not family anymore. He was fine with this. Now she is even more pissed and telling my boyfriend that he is dead to her and telling him to get rid of me since I am controlling. I have never been rude to her and have been there for her through breakups and tough times, but she treats me like this just because I'm upset that she stole from me. Am I the asshole? Edit. We forgot to lock the house that night and did not really think anything of it. We can only lock the house when we are there because our landlord lost the keys. We bought a new door handle, but it does not fit in the hole that is in the door, so we are just waiting on our landlord to approve us drilling a bigger hole into the door for the new handle. Update. We got our new door handle in. I feel safe and my belongings are secure. His sister is throwing a tantrum still and disowned us as family. She sent my boyfriend and me long paragraphs at 2 in the morning last night. She told my boyfriend that he never sticks up for her and always takes my side. This is the first time she and I have ever fought, and he is taking my side because he was also pissed that she was coming into our house and taking my stuff, and told me that I need to grow up because I make every outing awkward and make my boyfriend into a different person. His mom agrees with this, but believes I make him into a better, happier, and goofier version of himself. Reddit verdict, not the asshole.
Top comments. Comment. Not the asshole, but why does she have access to your house? You need to stop that from happening. And if your boyfriend is okay with his younger sister coming and going as she wants to and disrespecting you, then he needs to go too. Author. He is not, and he has told her this, but she is a brat and does not listen. Comment. So a minor is just wandering out at night, stealing and drinking 24 beers? Does her dad give a damn about her at all? What is happening? It is obviously not your responsibility to deal with her, but I am surprised her dad and brother do not seem to care. If this is real, you should also secure your house properly. Not the asshole. Author. Her brother does care. He is pissed as well. Their dad says he is going to talk to her. No point in grounding her, though, because she does not listen, and she broke her phone, so he cannot take that away. Comment. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend should also try to get money from her to reimburse you for the alcohol she stole. She is likely to refuse, but he should at least try. His family, his responsibility to deal with any problems caused by them. And given that she is still a minor, there is an argument that her father should step up and act like one and reimburse the money on her behalf. If your boyfriend refuses to change the locks or go after the money, then you do not have a sister-in-law problem, you have a boyfriend problem. And from this point on, I would have as little to do with her as possible. No visits, no conversations, no assistance with her problems. I do not allow liars and thieves and bullies to have any place in my life. Your boyfriend's relationship with her is entirely his business, but that does not mean you need to interact with her. Update based on original poster's edit and comments. There is no key. The landlord lost it and is dragging his heels about getting a replacement. The original poster and the boyfriend accepted the lack of a key and moved into the shitty keyless rental a week ago. They can only lock the place while they are inside, and they forgot to lock it on the night in question. No key also means they can lock the place while they are both out, which means they have no way of protecting their valuables while they are out. That laptop is going to get stolen any minute now. My sympathy for the original poster is rapidly evaporating, and I am a whisker away from voting everyone sucks here. Original poster, you and your boyfriend are both adults. It is about time you started adulting and told the landlord you cannot live in a place that does not have a key. Write down who you think is the asshole and who did the right thing, and we'll move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for telling my dad he should bathe his own daughter? So I, a 19-year-old female, have 2 sisters, but only one is relevant to this situation. My sister, let's call her A, an 18-year-old female who is cognitively equivalent to a 9-year-old, has been severely disabled since birth. She was born with an extremely rare defect in her brain, and one of the many consequences is poor motor skills, which make it impossible for her to bathe herself, among other things. My dad, a 51-year-old male, has consistently refused to bathe her since she was around 13 years old because he says it is illegal. She had medical intervention to start puberty about a year ago because she does not produce the hormones, so it was not related to puberty. He has told me that as her older sister, it is my responsibility. Now, A does not care about this because I am the only person who actually helps her with anything, but I do not think it should be my responsibility alone, especially since I plan to move out as soon as I can find a stable income, hopefully within the next 6 months, for my own health reasons. As soon as I realized her reliance on me, I started trying to reduce it, but that is difficult when you are expected to handle all the caregiving.
Ever since he started passing this responsibility on to me, I have told him he should not sexualize bathing his disabled daughter, but he turns it around and says he cannot because she has breasts and the courts disagree with you. I do not want this to be another thing that A will be left to figure out on her own. Am I wrong for not wanting to bathe her? Edit. I should add that my mom is in the picture, but she goes out with friends some nights and enjoys visiting her family who live many provinces away. Edit 2. A few people have been confused about the cognitively equivalent to a 9-year-old part and assumed it is just a mental delay, but that is not the case. She is missing part of her brain and other parts are damaged. She has impaired vision, speech, and movement, as well as extremely low muscle tone. Also, I am in Canada. Edit 3. I worded the part about my mother terribly. Thank you, autism. To clarify, my mother does the bathing when she is home. However, she is home about 80% of the time, and A still needs baths during that other 20%. For example, my mother is the only person who can take care of my 9-year-old and 4-year-old cousins while their mother is on a work trip, so I was in charge of bathing A this morning. My mother does not go out randomly. She attends her sports activities 2 or 3 times a week and goes out for dinner with her friends a few times per month. She is not great, but not because of this. She is not great for other, unrelated reasons. Edit 4. For the people suggesting an at-home nurse, that is the future plan, but my parents have an "our family is so perfect, nothing is wrong, and we are a loving, ideal suburban family" persona. That would definitely make that impossible. The long-term plan for A is a group home with 24/7 nursing staff, but they would never allow an in-home health nurse. Reddit verdict? Not the asshole.
Top comments. Comment. You were already not the asshole, but the fact that you say your mom is also in the picture but has her own life makes you doubly not the asshole. I definitely think the word parentification gets thrown around too much, but this is a clear example. Please save every bit of money you can and move out, preferably far away from your negligent and irresponsible parents. Neither of them should have any life that does not involve ensuring adequate care for all their children is met first. Author. The end goal is for my partner and me to move halfway across the country so that we are closer to both of our extended families and never risk running into my parents in public. Comment. Ask him if it will be sexual when he is 90 years old and you are bathing him. It is a family member who occupationally needs help. It is not sexual, it is human hygiene. I understand why he's uncomfortable, but your dad either needs to put that aside and accept this as part of taking care of his child, or hire a caregiver now that you are ready to leave the nest. Author. Trust me, I will not be the one bathing him when he is 90 years old. Not only do I not want to keep contact for that long, but my health condition is degenerative, so I will be bedbound. Comment. Not the asshole, and your dad is full of nonsense. There is nothing illegal about bathing a disabled child, regardless of their age or stage of puberty. Your dad is simply pushing his responsibility onto you. Stick to your plans to move out when you can. A will be left to figure out all on her own. Is she even capable of doing that? If so, your dad is doing your sister a disservice by not teaching her how to bathe. Author. She is not capable, which is what worries me the most and what makes me feel the most guilty. I have spent years trying to teach her to do more independently, but she does not have the dexterity. Comment. No assholes here. In an ideal world, neither of you would have to do this, and as another commenter said, a caregiver could handle it. However, your dad is not necessarily wrong either. I doubt he is sexualizing this, but is more fearful of being accused of sexual assault or feeling like he is doing so. I am a female doctor, and when I have to examine children of either sex for genital conditions, I feel like an abuser because I know it will be traumatic for them, though partly this is due to my own past experiences from childhood. I know Redditors think parents should be perfect beings, where dads can bathe their adult daughters without being uncomfortable, but that is not reality and does not mean he is sexualizing it. Author. Thank you for this. I was really worried about the whole him sexualizing her thing, because he has always been cautious with anything remotely similar. But you explaining this and knowing about all of his own trauma from his childhood makes sense he would be scared of how he is perceived. Write what you think about this situation. Also, if you like this video, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the bell to receive notifications about the latest videos. See you next time. Bye-bye.